welcome to the Music Lens podcast with me, Alex Allegra.
And Katie Fee.
We're back in our studio this week.
Yes.
Hopefully you guys didn't mind too much that it sounded weird last time.
Yeah, it's fine. It is what it is. That's the nature of recording on Zoom. So
it didn't go as bad as I thought it was going to. Minus like me being in weird lighting and stuff, which was just the hotel and like not preparing to bring all the things that I like actually needed, which was just a mistake, but
that's fine.
It worked well. So yeah, and then blue dot fever seems to be the topic of discussion like all over the internet right now. So sorry, we got ACM recaps for you guys. But I just wanted to say that seeing Luke Combs out in Wisconsin was so good. Like, I wasn't expecting a whole lot, and then like I just had the most fun. Yeah. I did want to say that everyone says that Nashville is a very drunkard city, which it is, but it's like
in the Midwest.
Stupid drunk. Like, it's people are on vacation and they say that no rule applies to them. Being in the Midwest, I was like, this is a new level of drunk that I am not used to. Yeah. So it was funny to see. Yeah, I was just like, holy shit, this is a lot of drunk people. But yeah, my adventures have kind of come to a close now. I am back in town for a while, which is so nice. And I also am, just got to do some really cool things lately. I've been doing a lot more with my own music again, which is exciting, but also my photography stuff is doing things. Like I was an actual house photographer for the first time. So like I was shooting for the venue yesterday. Yeah. And it was funny because I legitimately, like, I don't know what happened. I'm like driving to the venue and I'm there and I'm like, Maggie Miles. Okay. Like just like focused on like, this is the show. And then it like hit me while I was standing there. I was like, wait, is this the girl that we saw at the Exit In show that we saw with Sammy for her birthday? And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, if she comes out and like does this like edgy, I was like, oh my God, this is her. Like, I don't know why it did not hit me that like, this is the same girl until I'm like standing there and I'm like looking around at the crowd and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know what hit me that I was like, wait, I think I know this girl. So it was really cool then. And so I got some cool photos and just need to finish editing those. And then Katie got a chance to play the Playlisted Pod a while ago, but I got a chance to play it on Monday when I got back. And I kind of was just very open to the idea of it. I know the episode hasn't come out yet, so I don't want to like spoil it for you guys. But I was very much like, I don't know if I'm like looking for signs necessarily to give up my music completely. Like, it's always going to be something that's there, like whether I'm songwriting in the background or just doing other things. But like some days I'm like, you know, I'm sure we all go through this as artists. It's like, what is making it at the end of the day? You know, it's like I would still love to be the like Taylor Swift level of making it, but it gets harder the older that you get, the more commitments that you have on your plate, the more family and stuff like that, roots you grow, all this stuff, obviously, as we've talked about. But I was just like, I don't know, I kind of just like let it be. I was like, I played my new song that I'd been like sitting on and like had this whole big plan, and some monetary values have just like not come to fruition the way that I thought it was going to this year. And it's like, I don't want to keep putting myself in so much debt just to make this music career like go off, because it's just not fun to live that way, you know, the starving artist aspect of it. So I'm like trying to like figure out things, and I just like was like, I'm just gonna kind of let it, like, if they tear apart my song and it's like this, which is kind of, I was like, I was scared that was what it was gonna be, but I was like, I'm just gonna put it out there. And if they tear it apart, then I'm just going to focus on photography, and I'm just going to give kind of up the artist persona and just like reevaluate a lot of things. But they didn't. And I was like, wow. And I don't know, it's just like, it made me just want to keep going. You know, it's like sometimes you just need that little bit of like spark to just get yourself to keep going. And so I'm really excited for that to come out. For you guys to hear the song, for you guys to hear what they had to say, so I can talk about it a little bit more, and to just keep going with this song, because I truly think that this next single is just like something really special. Like, I said it since the day we've written it, because I wrote it with Sammy and Katie and Christian, and it just felt so special when we wrote it, and it just feels like this could be like a big turning point in my career if the right audience can catch on to it,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah, so all good things. And I'm very happy and very grateful and very thankful. And I was all prepared to be so busy this year, but really my summer can really just be focused on the things that like I want to focus on, which is like very nice. Like
Yeah.
I can actually take the time to record TikToks and schedule photo shoots and do all these things, and it's just like it's nice. So
Yeah. I know I've played, let's see where we at in time and space. I played a couple shows this month, Swift Artists and Nashville Tour Stop. And then if you're listening to this when this comes out and you're in Nashville, come to Bus Call Category 10, playing around 8:15. But yeah, I kind of just lined up. Bus Call was deliberate. Like I reached out to them, and then the other two just kind of happened to get added. So been playing more recently, and I have one trip up north to South Dakota in June lined up for a couple shows, including Wild Bill Days, which will be fun. I think it's like I tried to Google pictures to figure out exactly what the Main Street stage is, and I think it's like a bigger stage too, so that's fun. Still playing acoustic because, you know, well, one, that was what the slot was, but two, like travel costs for a whole band just not feasible at the level that we all are at. But yeah, so I got a lot of shows type things happening, and then got just a couple of like T's to cross and I's to dot for my song that I'm putting out in hopefully July, as long as everything works out timeline wise. So yeah, working on new music as well. Anything else to add before we get into
I don't
it?
think so.
No? Okay. So you said you did watch it. Did you watch like all of it or like
Parts
of it? Okay. So we're doing ACMs. Yeah, so I just basically was like, I'm just going to take notes while I watch, and we can just do like a play-by-play, and some stuff can be just like, and this happened, and move on. But then other stuff, we'll see what ends up being stuff we want to like get into more. I did find an article from Billboard too. That kind of listed some of the like the record setters for it. So, and I think this was last week's Tuesday News Day. If you want to find that article, it's on our like story highlights on Instagram. Probably have it in the show notes as well. So Ella Langley won a record 7 awards this year, and that surpasses the old record of 6 wins in 1 year achieved by Garth Brooks in 91, Faith Hill in 99, and Chris Stapleton in 2016. So there's like a 3-way tie, and now she went past them on that.
She also got every award she was nominated for.
Yeah. She won 5 last year, and no artist in ACM Awards history has amassed 12 awards in just 2 years. The old record was held by Faith Hill, who won 10 awards across 98 and 99. We'll get into what she won and stuff later.
I was surprised that like she won everything, only from the aspect of she's up against like Megan and Lainey. And I would have thought maybe one of those would have like won for something else, and she's just so new on the scene comparatively, you know, and like just now getting bigger headlining gigs and stuff like that. But I guess like sometimes I think people just like acknowledge that like this is like a big year, you know, for Choosing Texas, and like I think everyone's very much on the high, even though the album isn't
right. The album just came out this year.
I think
so
everyone's very much on the high of that album. So like I wonder if it'll also do well next year, or if like it'll kind of wear off just timing wise of everything, because everyone's raving about this album. So that is the only thing I wonder about, is like when they're voting for this stuff, if this kind of stuff influences it, and why it is a little tough to like, because Choosing Texas is on the album. It's very much associated with this album, and everyone's raving about this album. So it's like, I think that all of this, while Choosing Texas does deserve some love and stuff like that, I feel like maybe this should have been like next year's reception of everything, you know, because I just fear that maybe
it didn't hit its peak during the eligibility period.
Yes.
Even though it was released during it, basically.
But then I wonder if like next year then, like, it'll be a lot harder for her to get anything because all the shine of it will wear off.
Unless
then.
it's, well, I feel like, I don't know. We'll see where Be Her's at. If it goes to number one and stuff, because like it's doing really well now since it's like also topping, or like the only thing keeping it from topping the charts is
her. I was like, she's
Texas.
competing with herself at this
so like
point,
maybe
so
that will be the
hard.
like single of the year nomination next year and stuff. But
I don't know, because I did see some people not like that she sang that as her song on the show, and they wanted Choosing Texas.
Okay, well, she sung that one enough. I think it's fine to pick a different one.
I'm just saying that's what people wanted to hear was Choosing Texas. I also liked that she did it as an acoustic version.
I was like,
was
this
different.
needs to be on streaming platforms immediately. I love this version of it. I don't know. Maybe that can be a thing for, I'm sure she'll have a deluxe version of Dandelion eventually and like officially put the one with Morgan Wallen on that and stuff. So like maybe she could do.
I'm sure she will, but I think
that
this
way.
is one of those albums that I don't want there to be. Like, I think it is so good all on its own. Like, why are we trying to touch perfection sometimes, you know? Like, just don't touch it. It's okay. It's okay to leave people wanting more.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. I know everyone loves a deluxe though.
Yeah.
I just
So she won Female Artist of the Year right after like winning New Female last year, and she is, why am I losing my place? She's the 5th woman who's stepped up from New Female Artist to Female Artist of the Year in just 1 year. And so it's Crystal Gale, Katie Oslin, Carrie Underwood, and Lainey Wilson. But then one note is that I guess Gretchen Wilson won Top Female Vocalist and New Artist of the Year in the same year.
oh.
So that's a thing too.
Which I hate when that kind of stuff happens. So I like the step up.
Yeah. Yeah. She's also just the 5th artist to win back-to-back awards for Single of the Year, because You Look Like You Love Me won last year. There's ads that keep like shooting the text around on my screen. So if I'm struggling, that's why. And yeah. Okay. And then Cody Johnson, first time winning Entertainer of the Year for him.
Oh, really? I would have guessed he would have won in the past, so.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later. Miranda extends her lead because she, I don't know which one's accurate. This says she has now won 35 ACMs, but then I saw another one saying she has won 40. And I feel like 5 is a big difference.
Yeah.
So 35 or 40, she's still like the most winning artist in ACM history. She also, I don't know if it says this in here, but I think it was Ward from Whiskey Jam had talked about how like she's done something that I don't think anyone else really has, of she's won as an artist, as a songwriter, as a producer for herself, but also a producer for another artist.
Yeah.
So like she has won in several different areas, like capacities. So,
yeah.
That's kind of a unique thing as well.
It's unique not just from a female aspect too, it's just unique in general. Mm-hmm. So like, and on top of it to be, this is a very female dominated year, which is like
and
great.
All the Ella stuff too, it's like, it's not like, oh, she's like the most winning, or she broke a record for women, she broke a record for artists in general too, for number of wins in a year and stuff. And then the other record is Jessie Jo Dillon won Songwriter of the Year, and it's the 3rd year in a row for her, and so that is a record as well. Dallas Davidson, Shane McAnally, and Hillary Lindsay have each won twice. And then I guess Hardy, that's interesting. Michael Hardy won once as Songwriter of the Year and once as Hardy as Artist Songwriter of the Year. So he's won different versions of the award, I guess. But yeah, so that's kind of the record-breaking stuff. If y'all didn't watch, Shania was the host this year, and it was on Prime for, I think it's been like 5 years that it's been on Prime now.
Okay.
Lainey opened with Can't Sit Still, and she had like a bunch of dancers with her. I
saw people like loving the whole dance part of it for the opening.
Like squat dance.
I see so many TikToks of people recreating it though. They're like, oh, so we're all dancing like this now.
It was like, this is silly, but it's still fun.
I think the song calls for silly, so it's like...
She wore a dress for like the first time in a long time for any type of like artist thing, because obviously wedding dress was a dress. But she wore a dress for the carpet, and then I was like, well, she immediately changed out of it because she opened the show.
But I saw the dress
did change back into it.
It did make a lot of sense though, because it was still very fringy, and I was like, okay, it doesn't like look like, oh, this came out of left field. It felt very still in brand of her for wearing a dress like that.
She had talked to some interview on the carpet about how like it still felt very in the vein of her with the fringe and stuff. So did explain like didn't like go too out of her usual with that.
No, it felt very her. She looked such glamorized Barbie doll with like her hair and everything though.
Yeah. So Shania had her opening speech. I don't know if you
No.
So just like performances.
I watched performances. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just curious who writes these speeches, if it's like the host has any hand in it, or if they're just literally reading what's
as far as what I've seen. They have some hand in it, and obviously they read through everything and like rehearsal before to change anything. But like, yeah, it is like, there are writers, so
I don't know. It just felt like she was talking a lot about herself. Like she promoted that she has a new album coming out, which is fine, but then was also just like talking about starting playing in bars at 8 and all this stuff, which I did like. Well, she said she started playing in bars around 8, and she didn't have a hit till Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under at the age of 30. And I was like, okay, that makes me feel a little better. Yeah. But was just talking about all these other hosts that have hosted the show before and stuff. But it just, I don't know. It wasn't the best opening speech.
And that's saying something, because Katie does love Shania. So I didn't really care for her being the host, to be honest. But I have my own
a little bit
problems
with
Shania. Is one thing about her is I can never tell that it's her, because every single time I see her, she looks so fucking different that I'm like, what does this woman look like? Like, I legitimately don't know.
She just like... I feel like when you are in that role of a host, you are supposed to be like highlighting the nominees and the performances and stuff, and not making it about you so much.
No, it very much felt like this is her, like they're trying to make an actual big comeback with her new album and stuff right now. And that this felt like a promotion. Even in the announcement of it, it felt like a promotion that, oh, Shania is trying to make this big comeback. Even though she's like kind of still been doing stuff, like this is her really like big comeback kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah. She also, I feel like, I don't know if it was the way she said it that it didn't like register or something, but she tried to make a joke of like, we're choosing Vegas instead of choosing Texas.
Yeah.
It's like, it took a second. I'm like, oh, that's what you're trying to do. Okay. But yeah. And then Christian, go away. Miranda performed her new song, Crisco, Rhinestone and Disco Dream-esque. You see that one?
I didn't see that one, actually. I didn't know
she has a new song, and it's very 70s.
I know the song.
Vibe, which we'll talk about it now, not for new music, basically. Okay. But, yeah, I know that it's like cooking, but it's like 70s disco type. It's like a biscuit with like a glitter square of butter kind of cover art, but it's a cute little song. It's like very much like the hook sounds like a jingle for Crisco. Thomas Rhett and Jordan Davis, Ain't a Bad Life, which honestly, that song's on the radio, but other than that, I haven't really...
I've actually never heard this song, and I'm a huge Jordan Davis song, and I didn't know this was a thing, yeah.
But it's on the radio, and I hear it on the radio all the time. I think it's doing pretty well as far as that type of area, but like it never pops up on Spotify for me, anything like that. But yeah, I mean, it was a good performance. I did notice that, like how... like Taylor Swift and other artists have the light up bracelets at concerts. There must have been something like that technology in the centerpieces for the tables because they were like synced up with everything.
Yeah.
So I guess they did that instead of giving everyone like the paid ticket people
Yeah.
bracelets.
Jordan Davis is also, I love his music. I really do. But he also is somebody that feels a little stagnant right now and like needs to do something. Because he is kind of like still sitting in like kind of arena, more like theater, amphitheater kind of settings, and like hasn't broken through to like actual arena tours.
Yeah.
But also, again, like maybe that's because the women are dominating right now and the men are kind of just sitting there. So, because again, like they need to do something. Like I hope it gives people like a big push in the butt of like, you can't, I mean, better. And just to tangent a little bit is that like I was talking with a coworker and she was like, I really don't like when people just kind of stand there and play guitar. Like that's like, I know it's some people's like shtick, but it's like, it's very much a male thing. Like a lot of the females especially have to like run around the stage and be doing 50 things. And, you know, people like Lainey have gotten a lot better about it, more comfortable with it because a lot of country too, it's like, it's hard to do and stuff like that. So it's just, and she was a little worried because I haven't seen Miranda Lambert, and it's one of my people that I'd love to see, but I have heard some negative reviews about her performance and that she kind of just stands there and doesn't do a lot with interactions and doesn't really like connect. Issues. But she was worried that like Ella will also start doing that. Yeah, I mean, Luke Combs was all over his stage. He went the farthest he could go to the farthest he could go. He was everywhere on his stage. So we weren't bored there. But and he's somebody who very easily could. And when I first saw him on Broadway a couple years ago, he was still in the I only hold my beer phase of his performing. So he's gotten a lot better too. Well, and I'll also draw it back to the fact that Harry Styles is being commented about with his stage design, but also like
running around at the end.
Lack of performance aspects of it. And I think not every tour is the Eras tour. We have to remember this, people. Not every tour is Beyonce and Taylor Swift, okay? Like there are those levels, but like not everybody can afford that kind of stuff. And not everybody is that kind of stuff. I don't think Harry's performances are bad. Of everything I have seen, it looks like I still want to go buy the ticket. I think people also don't realize when you're standing next to stages that are built for stadiums and arenas and stuff, how big it is. And like, yeah, when we stood on the floor for Taylor and we were in the back of the floor, we couldn't see anything. Like you don't realize it until you're there and you're like, why did I spend all this money for this? And it's like, because you're getting that closeness to the artist is what you're paying for. You're not necessarily paying to see everything. And I think people don't realize that because we watched a lot of the Eras tour from the floor on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, because Caroline had a jump scare when Taylor like was like, had moved far enough forward to be like kind of right in front of us, and she like did a
but she was right watching
the screen and then didn't realize she had walked all the way out here now.
But like I don't think people kind of realize that, and that's not a criticism on Harry. I think the bridges like were him trying to be different with his staging and it just didn't work because I think he even said he wanted people to move and dance, and I don't think people want, like when people buy barricade they want to be right on the barricade as close as they can and not move.
Yeah.
I don't think he intended or wanted that. I think he wanted people to freely move and like dance and not be so obsessed with like, oh my God, Harry Styles is right next to me, I must like figure out a way to like touch him or something, you know? Like not in a weird way, Catherine.
No, just like don't reach out and try and touch artists.
Okay, long tangent to say.
Michael Bublé presented Song of the Year. He mentioned he's recording an album in Nashville. Oh. So that's interesting. I don't know if that means country necessarily, but he is recording something here.
I mean, you can... I don't think people realize... I think people are making it a point to say they're recording in Nashville when they're leaning more towards country, but also, like, Niall Horan records in Nashville, and I don't think people realize that. Like, you know?
Yeah. She's in Texas. Obviously, Song of the Year. I liked that Luke Dick said, long live country women and long live country music, because he got a chance to speak as well. And then we got into Avery Anna, and there was like a sound issue right off the bat. Like she didn't. I was going to say that didn't affect anything because all I saw from that performance was people need to be looking at her a lot more than they are, was all I have seen about that performance. It's like you could hear the live, like, stadium audio, but not the feed that's supposed to be going directly into the show. And it got fixed really quickly though, so like it was fine. Definitely more rock sound and look.
That's my thing about her, is she just doesn't feel country to me. She feels pop and like blended.
Did Blood Runs Thicker. She hit the drums at one point for a little bit. Like, I feel like it was a strong performance for sure. Group of the year. I don't know if this is like a shift to like personalized listening of music through streaming, explaining why I'm not familiar with a lot of these nominees for group of the year versus like days where radio's the main source. And so like, you know, all the top people because that's what's played on radio. But I feel like I didn't know most of these people. But anyways, Red Clay Strays won.
I saw that
they broke
won.
Old Dominion's streak of winning 8 years in a row.
Oh, really?
And then Shania introduced Riley Green and mentioned how like he was nominated for 4 or something like that, and goes, "That does impress me much." And
Everyone was thirsting for Riley.
No,
Every
it was
interview
funny.
was like, everything I saw about it was everyone trying to get them to say how much they're thirsting over Riley. And I was like, this is weird. Like, I saw one thing about Lauren Elena saying, like, all the girls want Riley or something like that. Like, it was like,
It
thirsting
just like
for
it
Riley.
What's funny for me about that is when I cover that don't impress me much, to like modernize it, instead of Brad Pitt, I say Riley Green. And then she's like, that does. I'm like, it doesn't for me. He performed Change My Mind. I mean, solid performance. I don't have much to say about it. Zach Top, Honky Tonk Till It Hurts was what he played. Again, it was just kind of...
Speaking of Zach Top, one of the things we were talking about it is that everyone's like, well, it works for somebody like Zach Top who can stand there and play guitar because his songwriting is so good that it doesn't matter that he's not doing it because the crowd is already so energized with his performance. So
yeah.
He feels very much like Alan Jackson though. So
well,
like,
because there's that whole the whole joking. I don't think anyone actually believes it's theory about him being Alan's son.
Yeah, that's I didn't even think about that when I thought about it just now. I was just like, I saw something the other day that was like, this is this person in country now and this is this person, and I was like I didn't agree with a lot of it. It's just the only person I could think of was he does remind me a lot of Alan. And I don't know why, but I guess that's why.
Duo of the year went to Brooks and Dunn, which I don't agree with, just because I don't think they're
Dan
doing
and Shay with their
new.
tour and new all of the new stuff.
This is I equate it to back when Garth kept winning entertainer, and it's like, well, there's no one who can top him, so of course he's getting it, but also does he actually deserve it when you look at it for the year?
Yeah,
because I think people are thinking just overall and not like looking at what has this artist done within this year that the nomination is supposed to be about. So, but Kix was like, I don't know why y'all aren't getting sick of us, but we love it, y'all. Like, I don't know either.
Well, it'd be like
them.
the same thing of like
they should be Duo of the Year.
Carrie Underwood still being nominated for all this stuff, but like, what has she done in the last year besides host Idol? Like, not really anything. And that's not really entertainment, like in the sense.
Single of the year was Choosing Texas. Not really anything of note with that. Little Big Town performed a new song called Hey There Sunshine, and it's like a more of like a mental health topic song of like coming out of a dark time. Very much Karen focused. I feel like there was like standard Little Big Town like harmonies and stuff, but mainly it was just Karen performing.
Well, she really has been like mentory songwriting focused, like with Kelsey and everything like that, for which I think Miranda's getting a lot of that, but like Karen really actually been mentoring a lot of the young up and coming women and like doesn't get a lot of like praise for it.
Red Clay Strays performed Demons in Your Choir. I feel like I had to look up his name. I don't know why I didn't write his last name. Lead singer's name is Brandon. His voice is very much like an old school tone, and also his look, and it makes me think of like Sun Records vibes.
No, they do the whole 70s thing.
It's definitely,
which for me feels more Americana
and
than
again,
it does.
It seems more
country
like a southern rock than it is country.
But it's also like, but how much like Skynyrd is still so much associated with country music, even though they're southern rock. Like, so it's, I think it's just the matter of like, we combine the two because it's like, again, it's like Avery. Like people don't know where to categorize it, so this is how they're categorizing it. So they're just going with it.
Tucker Wetmore performed Brunette. He was male new male artist this
I
year.
just don't get the hype around him personally. He's everybody else, and I just don't get the hype around.
I feel like it was a very high energy performance, though. Like there wasn't
That's
anything
fine.
wrong with it.
I just don't think there is the only new male artist, like personally to me, that has been outstanding in any way is Bailey Zimmerman. He is the only guy that feels and looks any different than all of the other backwards baseball hat guys. Like, that is the only one.
I noticed every single time he sang the hook of I Need to Find Me a Brunette, he touched his hair. And I was like, okay, don't need to do that every time.
Yeah.
Like, I got it. I kind of liked it the first time, but then it kept happening. And I was like, okay, I don't know if you don't think people are like understanding the word you're saying. You're like, brunette hair, or I don't know. I was like, stop it.
It was probably a nervous tick, and he just did it. And
music event of the year went to Don't Mind If I Do for Riley and Ella.
Which is great.
See that whole argument on stage?
He made such a weird... It wasn't an argument. He just said that she showed up in pajamas, which was supposed to be like, in his mind, was an effortless thing, which I got, but it was a weird comment, and it's probably something that he may kick himself forever saying in the long run of life. But it was a weird thing to say to somebody of like...
I think, it was like trying to say that she did it effortlessly, but like, I feel like...
Why are you telling people she went to her pajamas?
Thinking that she's doing that.
That's weird and unprofessional. Like, it comes across like he's like, well, she does it like she doesn't care and she's unprofessional. But like, that's not the point. It's just, and she corrected him of like, I was in jeans and t-shirt.
And he's just like, maybe you sleep in that. I don't know. I'm like, okay, just let it go and move on, dude.
Yeah, it was
He also said, well, I think it might have been people or someone on the carpet. We were asking people like, what would you do or what would you play if you were performing at Taylor and Travis's wedding? And he said, she can afford me. And I was like, ew, stop it right now. And then Parker McCollum and Leanne Womack performed Killin' Me, which... I don't know where Leanne came in with this because I don't think she's on the song for like the studio version, but I think they do have some sort of a relationship.
I was like, I can hear that sounding really good. Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a slight audio issue, same one as Avery Anna's performance briefly, but like again, they fixed pretty quickly. I also noticed Aubrey Sellers was singing BGVs, which is
her daughter.
Leanne's daughter.
She also is his background vocalist in general is Parker's. For tour.
Aubrey is? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just kind of Leanne was going to perform with Parker, and then she was like, you want to come sing too?
No, she's Parker's background singer.
Yeah. I liked that Leanne, towards the end of the song, went over to Aubrey and, like, kind of, like, sang by her, too. And I was like, oh, cute mother-daughter. Next was Male Artist of the Year, and Ashley McBride presented it. And she, like, recited this poem for her like speech of before mentioning the nominees, and actually it ended up she made some edits to like make it more tailored to the scenario, but it was actually lyrics from Emptying Ashtrays by Randall Clay, which I think is a songwriter that she's like worked with that I think he's passed. So I guess that was just a nod to like honor him, but it's basically describing the different type of men in music, and then presented it to Cody Johnson. So Cody won for Male Artist of the Year. And then we already talked about Jessie Jo Dillon winning Songwriter of the Year. They did have Shania talk to her for a little bit, and then Casey Musgraves performed Dry Spell.
I was so happy. I was like, I love that she doesn't give a fuck, because I'm sure there was another song that she could have picked off of that album, and she was like, no, you're gonna get what I give you. And you know, they've treated her like trash, so it was so nice to see her just back up on that stage. And I was like, don't let any of these people judge you or do anything other than just love Casey. So
I love that she started on the washing machine and then had like the supermarket, like the music video. And I liked that the band was dressed up as like the employees at the market too, for their little uniforms for the stage. So loved that. We already talked about Ella doing a stripped down version of Be Her. Like I said, I need this released yesterday. And then Carter Faith performed If I Had Never Lost My Mind because she was nominated in the Album of the Year category. So I'm assuming that's why they wanted to have her get time for a performance as well. Strong performance, as always.
She was another one that everyone was
so.
like, her and Aubrey, or, oh my God, her
Avery.
and Ava.
Avery.
Oh my God. Her and Avery, too, they were like, which I hated that the thing was the headlines were very comparatory of like Ella may have won all these things, but these are the people you really should have cared about. And it's like, why couldn't we have just cared about like this happened and we had other really strong up and coming women performances?
TJ Osborne came out to present Female Artist of the Year. Did you see his at all?
No.
He said, having my gay ass up here to present it is a dream come true. Like, I love how far we have come to like how comfortable he is being out and everything, and it's just being accepted
so funny.
as it should be. Ella won. She like struggled to even say a sentence. She had to like get her bearings before she could even say anything, which I mean, yeah, I feel like I get emotional when others get emotional for female artists. And just seeing that, I mean, like, yes, take it all in. She said thank you to the women, like highlighted other people in the category.
Well, that might have been like, she might have been like, oh, this is so cool, winning all that. But that one might have been the first one where she was like not expecting it or like feeling
I don't
like
think anyone necessarily expected it. Not in like any like bad way. It's just like I feel like people thought it was probably going to go to Lainey again just because it's been Lainey the last 3 years or something like that. And just because she is still new in comparison to the others in the category, other than I think Megan was in that category too, but
that was also the only time I could have saw Megan winning, even though she wasn't there that night. But
well, I guess it is artist. It depends on what they labeled things, because I know sometimes like award shows will be like female artist of the year, or sometimes it's labeled female vocalist, and I think the artist versus vocalist makes a difference in like what you're basing it off of. Like artist is the well-rounded like everything, and vocalist makes it seem more so like literally like the singing performance.
I think you're the only person, to be honest, especially voting for these things, that thinks of it that way, because I think they think of it as an overall thing, because to be honest, if it was just based on vocals, it should have been Lainey.
But I feel like saying vocalist doesn't encompass a whole career. It feels like you're saying only the one part of a career.
I think that's not what they... I think that's they
probably
intend,
why it got changed
but like
to
I
artist
think
instead of
I
calling
don't
it
think
vocalist.
anyone ever looks at it like that, because if that was the case, then it like... I think it's harder to do that, like, especially because, no offense, but like Ella and Megan, I've seen them have really good performance vocally, and I've seen them have really bad performances vocally. They both have their own... Ella doesn't have a huge range, neither does Megan really. Like, they don't have big belty chest voices. They have very mixed voices, and, you know, I think Megan... If she doesn't smoke, I'd be surprised, because her voice sounds like she's definitely put it through some stuff. Ella, same thing.
Yeah.
The only one that really, like, consistently I have seen have very strong vocal abilities has been Lainey. Yeah. And she can belt her ass off, too.
Right.
So, but then it's like, okay, but every year Lainey's going to get the same award, you know, so that's why I'm saying.
I say, like, yeah, because on the male side.
I think it's legitimately, like, everyone always just kind of combines it as, like, female artist and vocalist. It's the same kind of synonymous
I think that's why they
things.
changed the name of it, though, because it's like, if you say vocalist, then on the male side, it's like, how is anyone ever going to be Chris Stapleton?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Cody Johnson performed Travelin' Soldier. I don't know why I was surprised by that song choice.
Everyone seems to love it.
Love it. So, good with it. Kane Brown performed Woman, and he, like, started in the crowd and has, like, all the dancers and stuff, and everyone was into it. Lauren Elena's husband took his jacket off and was like slinging it around above his head after she had said on the carpet that it was his first ACMs and he has to behave. So I was like,
Kane Brown is somebody who I think should have a mediocre career and somehow has this bigger career than he does, but that's
the street. It was like a street type of look on the stage and there's like steps up to a door, and it kind of made me think of Sesame Street. And I was like, this feels like Sesame Street for some reason. But yeah, fun, high energy. It seemed like everyone in the crowd loved it. The album of the year went to Parker McCollum for his self-titled album. He said, "This is for Texas."
It
I
was a
honestly
really
didn't
good
even realize
album, but
that
it was
he
surprising that he
was
won it.
Texas and Texas country and stuff. I didn't know that about him, but I also, to be fair, don't know much about him because I don't pay too much attention to him.
Yeah.
And then Dan and Shay performed Say So, and Laura and Elena introduced it, and she like got choked up to where she like had to take a minute 'cause she was crying.
Does she still have all the baby hormones
I
floating
don't
through
know,
her?
but I didn't. Well, obviously we know, we talked about Say So in our new music. Like we know that's like a suicide prevention type song. Talked about how it was inspired by Ben Vaughn's passing, from the Warner executive that passed this year. I did not know that that was what happened with him. So I think that's what Lauren was getting choked up about and stuff. And they had a thing at the end of the performance that said like for Ben Vaughn and stuff. So I didn't know. I don't think they ever released anything as far as like a cause of death for that, but I guess that's what happened. So because he was like 40 something, he was really young. So entertainer of the year, Cody Johnson. And he was like, I'm gonna dedicate this to someone y'all probably wouldn't expect me to, but I've seen this guy be in Australia, across the world, heartbroken, missing the birth of his child, and then go on stage and just like completely kill it the next night and dedicated it to Luke Combs.
Yeah.
So I feel like he really thought Luke Combs deserved it and was dedicating it to him because of that. But I mean, we said when we talked about our New Orleans trip that like Cody Johnson definitely is up there in that caliber and deserves it as well.
Yes. He's also
so-
just somebody who's like, it's surprising that he's been like, he just feels like he's always been there. You know, he fits into the country mold so well. He fits like, he really just does like a really good job that it's like surprising he hasn't won.
There's
yet.
definitely notes that are not on here because I remember writing it down. Of he said something about being like a bull rider, prison guard, something, wanting to play music.
Yeah.
Like he listed off all of these other
It's in a
lives
lot of the
he's had.
headlines if you look it up. Yeah.
But yeah, it's his first win, which is surprising because I feel like he could have won it in some past years as well.
For sure.
Definitely well deserved. I know there's always Morgan Wallen fans that are gonna be like, no, he deserved it because he is in stadiums. I did see a theory about award shows and attendance playing a factor into who wins, in the sense of when people are voting and thinking about the award show, it's like if people have a history of not showing up to the award show, then that would mean that someone has to like whoever presents it has to like accept it on their behalf, and that's kind of awkward for TV, and it's not as ideal because you don't get to see their reaction and hear them do a speech. So if you're not going to award shows, you're less likely allegedly to win because they don't want that moment to happen. I don't know if there's any truth in that, but it did seem like they were gearing up to have that be a possibility because before Shania presented, she like did a thing about how, I don't know what year she won, but Dolly presented it and she wasn't there. So Dolly had to accept it on her behalf, and they showed the clip of that. So
that's weird.
Again, don't know why we were making it about her, but maybe that was like, hey, we have, I think there was at least half of the nominees for Entertainer of the Year were not there. So I feel like maybe they were like preparing people for that moment to happen if one of those people had won, because let's see, Morgan wasn't there, Jelly wasn't there, Megan wasn't there. I don't think Luke Combs was there either.
No, because he was in. That was when I was I was in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's at least half of them. So I think maybe they were trying to prep people for that. But It is an interesting thought. I would hope that that's not the case, because
No,
it
because
should
if
still go to whoever's
that's
most deserving.
yeah, if that's the case, then why didn't they like? I mean, people
Make it
pre-record or do all like it's
Yeah.
not. No, that's not a require. No, because also like some of these people can't help it. They're on tour. Like
Right,
Luke Combs
yeah.
was literally on tour. Like they,
Yeah, and Megan was being a maid of honor for her best friend's
yeah.
wedding.
Why
So.
like they're allowed to have lives outside of going to these things.
Yeah.
Like, and Megan also made a note. Like, a lot of the times they just don't show up, and like, that's one thing. But like, Megan made a note to say, like, I am supporting, I
She
just
also did like
can't be there.
I think it was for St. Jude's. There was like a little video package of her saying like, sorry, I can't be there, and explaining, but then also like had a little message about trying to get people to donate to, no, maybe it was just ACM Lifting Lives. That would make sense because it's ACM's. Yeah. A charity. Either way. Do a little package for that. But yeah, I think the only other thing that happened that I don't have notes was Blake Shelton performed The Gambler. And I feel like that was to honor Don Schlitz because he passed. So they didn't do like an in memoriam for the industry in general, but they had that at least as a little to pay homage to him. So
Gotcha.
which I was like, I would rather have Forever and Ever Amen, but we're in Vegas, so I guess The Gambler it is. That's probably why they did The Gambler. But
It's also
yeah.
just like, honestly, people get so excited to hear that song over Forever and Ever Amen.
For
I'm
some
gonna
reason.
say, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that is the ACM Awards this year. So if you have any thoughts on any of the performances, or maybe you have opinions on who should have won, or you agree with who won, things like that, you can send them to us at themusiclenspodcast@gmail.com, or comment them on our socials at the Music Lens Podcast. If you enjoy listening to us, go ahead and do us a favor, give us a 5-star review, and that really helps out with the algorithm and pushing us out to more people. And you could also follow Alex at Alex Lager Music. Keep an eye out for when she's releasing the song she talked about at the start of this episode. And the same goes for me. You can follow me at Katie Fee Music and watch out for my new song as well. We will see you next time.
Bye.